Hey there, Vinny from Project Frugal. We've got some good news, well, some great news, and we got some not so good news, some bad news. So stay tuned and check it out. The first thing we're going to go and have a look at is the news from yesterday on stuff.co.nz in the business section, which I never used to read, but I do now. The US stock market tumbles as inflation shock rattles Wall Street. US stocks have tumbled to their worst day in more than 2 years, knocking the Dow Jones Industrial Average down more than 1,250 points, following Wall Street's humbling realization that inflation is not slowing as much as hoped. The S&P 500 sank 4.3%, its biggest drop since June 2020. So this is all about inflation news coming from the US. Hadn't dropped as much as they'd thought, so they're probably going to have to raise interest rates again, or at least hold on to what they've got at the moment, which is not ideal for the world stock market, as it were. But you got to do what you got to do, and if that's what they're going to do, we're going to be holding regardless. Let's go and have a look and see what Denise has bought. So this time she invested. Let's go down here. We got almost $40 in the wallet left to invest. Let's have a look at the activity. But anyway, so with the existing dividends and all the rest of it, Colonial Motor Company was purchased this time. The actual portfolio has lost $301 since the last episode of Road to 100K. So that's not ideal considering we're chucking in another $1,000 and we've already lost literally $300 of that, but that's the way it goes. I'm sure it will recover, and it's already bounced back today, as you'll see very shortly. A couple of dividends have been paid out there. Stride Property didn't pay as much as I thought it was going to pay. Normally they have 2 payments. I think it's 4 times a year, I think, or it's at least twice a year. No, I think it's 4 times a year, but they normally have 2 lots of payments for some reason. I don't know what that reason is. This time they've only done the lower one, unless they're possibly holding on to it on the Sharesies side somehow. Maybe there's another payment coming out shortly for that, which would be good. But however, Heartland Group Holdings is paid out. We've got a nice looking $32.56 there, which is good. Go and have a look at the portfolio again. We'll go and have a quick look at the chart, all the volatility, which we've mentioned many times throughout this series. And it's not as bad as we were at when we were down over $4,000, but still a long way to go to get back to break even. We're literally halfway there to get back there, and it's going to take who knows how long. Maybe another 3 months, maybe another year. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see and play it by ear. And as you can see here, we've got $119.43 that we've made today. Heartland Group Holdings, yes, that's paid out. All the rest of it. We've got the nice little green box here on the ex-dividend date, so it's just more visible because previously it wasn't showing that at all. Now it is. So some of these dividends coming up here, double figures, which is nice, you know. I'd love to get all these into triple figures or even 4 figures. That'd be fantastic, but not at this stage. A long way to go with this particular portfolio. Almost $32,000 there. $34,000 gone into this portfolio, as I said before. $2,085 negative. Not ideal, but carry on. If we go and have a look at the dividend summary, we can see that we've made $804 out of this particular portfolio. Now, most of that is tax-free because the imputation credits, generally speaking, most of them have been paid. So that's basically the company tax, so you don't get double taxed. So most of that is our money now, so which is good, And we can see $804.25. We've got another $314.55 to come at this stage. Those are approximate numbers. Plus whatever happens in November and December, I'd imagine another $300. So we're looking at this particular portfolio. It should be dividend income for this year from January the 1st to December the 31st, 2022. Should be approximately around the $1,500 mark, I would suggest. Next year, that's likely to increase to at least 2,500 to 3,000. This is my best guesstimates. Have a quick look at the NZX 50 charts. You can see that this week has went up. Well, it was going up, and then, of course, this bad news from the US dropped suddenly. A little bit of a recovery. Who knows where it's going to go? I'm predicting that it's just going to level off a little bit. We'll just have to play it by ear. a lot of this is dependent when you're in New Zealand on what happens in the US. So over the fortnight, it's gone up a little bit overall, month down a little bit, and so forth and so on. In July, that was the market low at this stage, the trough as far as I can detect. It has done a little bit of a downturn in the last couple of weeks, well, the last week anyway, but I don't think that'll last, and I think it'll just carry on going up again. That's my prediction. Well, that's another episode down. Hope you learnt something. Probably not much to learn on this particular video, but you just got to stay the course. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you're investing in, and we'll catch you next time. See you later.